Labor's strong performance in the 2022 federal election saw them unseat nearly a decade of coalition rule. However, in the last 3 years, the political tides appear to be shifting. Recent polling shows Labor is struggling to maintain its lead, with some surveys even indicating a preference for the coalition, which many previously wrote off, believing it would take a decade of soul searching and rebuilding to make it a realistic alternative against Labor. In today's video, we'll be exploring why Labor is struggling in the polls, the key issues driving voter dissatisfaction, and what this could mean for the next federal election. According to the latest Resolve Political Monitor, Labor's primary vote has dropped to just 35%, a significant fall from the 2022 election. Meanwhile, Anthony Albanese's approval rating has slumped to their lowest level since he's become Prime Minister. Analysts suggest the decline is linked to several key issues that have dominated the political landscape throughout the year. First, the cost of living crisis remains a top concern for Australians. While inflation may be slowing, high interest rates, unaffordable housing, and soaring grocery prices continue to squeeze household budgets. Many voters feel Labor hasn't done enough to provide relief, despite measures like the Housing Australia Future Fund and expanded energy subsidies providing some level of support. Housing affordability in particular has become a political flashpoint. Labor's housing policies, such as the National Housing Accord, aims to increase supply. But critics argue they haven't gone far enough to address record high rents and home prices. The Greens and Coalition have used this to both their advantage, proposing alternative solutions like rent caps or reducing immigration to ease housing demand, which seem to have swayed some of the public preferences. Anthony Albanese's leadership has also come under scrutiny. While he was initially praised for his steady and pragmatic style, recent criticism has painted him out as out of touch with ordinary Australians, with both sides of politics calling Albanese and the party weak due to their campaign on the Voice referendum and a lack of action on anti-Semitism, as claimed by the coalition. According to the Australian Financial Review, Labor's cautious approach to policymaking, prioritising uncertain long-term reforms over immediate action, has left voters feeling frustrated and, according to other parties, are the wrong priorities for Australians. The perception has been amplified by the opposition's messaging. Peter Dutton and the coalition have seized on Labor's perceived weakness, particularly on housing and the cost of living, to present themselves as a viable alternative. In addition, they've made distinct policies on nuclear energy, immigration, and the one flag debate, which they believe is lacking from the Albanese government, with the coalition arguing Labor is trying to appease to everyone, but without taking the appropriate actions to ensure any outcomes. However, Dutton's clear-cut, simple and confident approach in regards to both promoting Liberal policies and scrutinising Labor has likely been the key driver of the coalition performance in the polls. Key Liberal leaders and political commentators have highlighted the importance of strong leadership, which, along with economic concerns, is likely to be a major driver for the coalition's growing popularity in the polls. In contrast, it's worth noting former Labor leaders such as Kevin Rudd have highlighted the framing of an overly critical stances from Australia's right-leaning news sources makes it considerably more difficult for Labor governments to defend themselves in elections, while at the same time unfairly favours Liberal national policies, distorting political discourse. Labor's position in the mainstream media makes it considerably more difficult to get policies more clearly across compared to the coalition. Although it has been argued by the coalition that Labor has reverted to utilising scare campaigns in recent times, such as the nuclear energy debate and Queensland abortion debate. Another factor in Labor's polling struggles is the rise of third parties and independents. The Greens in particular have gained support from younger voters who feel Labor has failed to deliver on housing, climate change and social justice. Independents aligned with the Teal movement have also maintained strong voter bases, particularly in affluent urban areas. Labor's attempts to balance competing interests, appealing to progressive voters while alienating centrists, makes it difficult to craft clear, resonant policies. This balancing act has made them vulnerable to attacks from both the left and the right, with both sides claiming that they've lost their core values surrounding workers' rights, unions, and social governance. As noted by The Conversation, Labor's election strategy heading into 2025 hinges on the ability to reconnect with voters and shift the narrative. This includes focusing on achievements like renewable energy investments, the National Reconstruction Fund, and progress on key referendum issues. However, these long-term policies may struggle to resonate with voters who want immediate solutions to everyday challenges. The next election will likely hinge on whether Labor can convince Australians that they are still the best party to manage the economy, address housing affordability, and improve living standards. Failure to do so could see the coalition regain power, or at the very least make significant gains on key marginal seats, forcing Labor into a potentially unstable minority government with the Greens or Independents. Labor's struggles in the polls highlights complex challenges in governing during a period of economic stability and political polarisation. While they've achieved progress on several fronts, their ability to address voter concerns regarding cost of living, housing, and leadership will determine their prospects in the next election. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed our content, consider subscribing and ringing the bell so you can keep in the loop for all the latest news in Australia and beyond. We're also proud to announce we've just released our 4th edition of the Snapshots newsletter, covering all the world, Australian, and other global news in the month of January, available for you to access down below in the description for free. Lastly, I'd like to thank our regular supporters and the team for making this video possible. Your support is crucial, and if you'd like to help, consider buying us a coffee, our merchandise, or purchasing a premium membership. Once again, I'm Heath Clark. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.